Good morning, everybody. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me here, for those of you who have joined me live. And for those joining later on video, I hope you do get to watch this. It's going to be super yummy because we are now entering into the heart chakra, Anahata, moving up from those lower three earthbound, physical bound, manifested bounds, chakras. And we're moving into Anahata. Anahata actually means unbroken or unbeaten, unstruck. So in that name is sort of beginning to signify this chakra's ability to heal and to transform and to love unconditionally. So it's sort of referred to, well, no, strongly referred to as the bridge of those lower three earth-based form-based chakras to the higher three spiritual formless-based chakras. So it's the bridge between spirit and, body or minds, because the mind is still really in this realm. And it is, it's the middle of the system. So it's really about balancing now, about, really balancing ourselves. Its element is air. And the element of air gives this sort of sense that the essence of this chakra is about freedom and boundlessness. Physically, it governs the actual hearts and the lungs and our circulatory system. It also governs our shoulders, our arms and hands, but also it governs the thymus gland. And the thymus gland has a lot to do with our immune system, with a strong immune system. So a balanced, open heart chakra tends to mean that you have good health, that you just have a really good, strong immune system. So, when people are in love, they're a bit stronger than normal, right? So this heart chakra is about love, and it is about falling in love with somebody else. But it's not the same, really. It's a higher vibration of love than the lower chakra of Swadhisthana, which is more like, I'm attracted to you and I like you for the pleasures that you give me. But this chakra is more unconditional love, a deeper love. But of course, we do have tendencies to love some people more deeply than other people. So this chakra often has healing and wounding issues, trauma issues, because anything that is done against us, say from parents or whatever, from very young age, that makes us feel in any way unloved, then we have a lot of wounding. So this chakra can have a bit of a fortress built around it, or sometimes we have disconnect. So an imbalance in this, well, obviously this chakra governs love, unconditional love, forgiveness, compassion, gratitude, generosity, acceptance. And when we have an imbalance here, it may be showing up as untrusting. You don't trust people. You're very protective about yourself. People can become cold-hearted. They can become disconnected. You might end up with things like depression or anxiety or withdrawal. And you may have some issues around resentment and bitterness. Or the opposite could be you're a people pleaser and you're a bit sanctimonious or a bit of a martyr. So there can be some of the other expressions. All right, so we're going to start this chakra in standing. So it is the element of air, so we move away from the ground. We are now a lot more mobile, and here you really shouldn't need any props, but of course, if you would like to have some blocks just as a security blanket, you're welcome to, and they may come in handy. So we're going to start, and you can start in a really comfortable position with the legs as wide as you would like them, around about perhaps shoulder distance would be good. We're going to bring our hands into prayer, but then we're going to open them up. So only the heel of the hands, the thumbs and the little fingers are touching each other, and the rest, the fingers are extended. This mudra is called Padma Mudra, and it is the lotus mudra. And so it is the blossoming, coming out of the earth, out of the mud, through the water, towards the sun. And now we shine, we blossom, we come to the flower head of the heart chakra. So don't forget all our other elements. We are building one element on top of the other, one chakra on top of the other. So ground your feet into the earth. Root down from your hips into the feet. Find this beautiful flowing ability. Like you might even like to just sway a little bit to find that sense of fluidity, of ease, of flow that Svadhisthana gives us. And then this sense of bright awareness, you know, opening up throughout your body, through the cells of your body, through the tejas, through the fire, and then coming into our heart. And just for a moment, you might even like to get rid of the mudra for a moment and just simply place one hand over the sternum, over your heart, and the other hand over there, and just take a moment to connect, to really feel into this area of the body, to notice your own heartbeat and to feel the quality of the energy that's happening within. Is it hard? Is it tight? Is it heavy? Is it light? Is it open? Just become aware without judgment of yourself. And without storyline just now, it's coming into physical practice. You could do a meditation if you're finding something you're curious about. And then we come back into our Padma Mudra. Begin to take a few deep breaths into the heart, into the chest. Filling out not just in the front heart, but also through the ribs, through the sides of your body, and into the back heart as well. You can exhale through the mouth a few times. That helps you release any sense of tightness, of compression or hardness in particular. And finding your stable center. We're going to take an inhalation, and as we do, we let the arms rise over the head. And as we exhale, we can just allow the arms to open up wide and come down in a nice, graceful fashion. We inhale up through the center, ground the feet down, draw the belly in, open and lift the heart. Arms are an extension of our hearts, and they are the place in which we are able to give and receive all the way to the hands. So inhaling, hugging, gifting, holding hands, all of these things are relating to the heart chakra. Exhaling back down. One more simple like this, and then we're going to add, as you inhale, rise, we're going to add the bija sound, yum. The bija sound of the heart is yum, so appropriate because the heart is so yummy when you get into that good vibe. So let's inhale, let the arms rise up overhead. Yum, 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 yum. We're going to repeat it 2 more times and let the vibration enter the heart space. Inhale, rise. Yum, 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 yum. One more round. Inhaling, rise. Yum, 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 yum. Letting the hands come together like in prayer, or you may like to stack one hand on top of the other. Feeling in, stabilizing your awareness into the heart center. And then just allow yourself to move out of any discomfort in the body through the neck, through the shoulders. Release the hands and bring the feet back into around hip distance. So we're going to, once again, press the feet into the floor, draw the navel in, and inhale, rise the arms up and over. And this time, just keeping stable in the feet. I do like to lift my heels and then drop them as I exhale to the side, but you might like to keep it just simple. And press really firmly now. I've gone to the right, so I'm pressing really firmly into the left. Inhale to rise back up. You could have a little lift to the heel, getting light. And as you exhale, press the heels down and drop over to the other side, whatever that is for you. And press into the opposite foot to ground yourself down and open up sideways. Inhale once again, a little rise at the heel. And as you exhale, let's bend the knees and lead the heart down, or let the heart lead us down all the way. Excuse me. Hands to the legs or the floor, and then let the head completely relax, arms completely relax. And then take a half lift as you're ready, and you can let the hands right up the legs or just have them on the floor as you straighten the back of the legs and the spine, looking up or forward. And then soften the knees again, just allow you to fold over the thighs. Let the head and the arms completely release and then roll up like a rag doll. As you bend your knees more deeply, press the feet into the floor more firmly and right up. And then the hands, once again, come up and over. They can just gently touch. And then as you exhale, bend the knees a little bit and bring your hands into cactus. As you bend your knees a little bit, we're just going to then straighten them up and see if you can take the hands a little further back away behind the elbows. So the elbows are more forward than the hands. And then we take an inhale here, and as we exhale, we bend those knees again and just guide the hands down and see if you can take the hands further back than the elbows. We don't necessarily need to just bend the hands, but it is a bit of a tricky thing. Inhale, rise, and you can straighten the legs and then really lift from the lower belly. Take the elbows more forward than the hands. And then exhale, a little bend in the knees as we drop the hands down, and see if you can keep the hands in line with the elbows, but then taking the hands further back. You know what I mean, in line with the arms. Inhale, straighten the legs. Open your heart. And now this time we're going to fold. So we bend the knees, we draw forward, the arms are coming with us. And then as we really begin to fold, we simply straighten the arms, turn the thumbs up towards the ceiling, and completely release the head. Taking a couple of breaths here, just completely relaxing through the head, the neck. Rotating those hands outwards, so the palms of the hands are facing away from each other. And then bend the knees and begin to swoop the hands forward, bringing the palms back in line with each other, facing each other. And then all the way up and over. And reach the hands up overhead, maybe palms touch each other. And this time as we exhale, we just simply bring the hands over the face. Peel the palms open to give yourself a little massage. Let it run down the neck. Let it run down your chest, your breast, your ribs, self-love, and onto the small of your back. If the fingers can touch, face upward, up the back, that's great. If not, you can just have the hands on the hips with the thumbs coming in towards each other, reminding that sternum, if you have any pinching in the lower back, to just lengthen out and draw that lower navel in. From here, we bend the knees, we press the feet into the floor, root down, and then straighten the legs, draw the shoulders back and down, open the heart, chest looks up, and then as we exhale, we fold, leading with the heart and massage down the back of your legs. As you come to the full fold, hands come forward and inhale, half lift. Maybe you want to massage up to your knees and then exhale back down through the calves. Then bringing your hands up the front of the thigh, all the way to the crease of the thigh. And we're going to press the heel of the hands in. We're going to scoop up from our belly to our heart, press up with a flat back. And continue with the arms. Inhale, maybe another inhalation. And as you exhale, then just allowing the arms to smooch all over your face and then down through the chest, down through the side of the body and into the small of the back. The knee bends, we scoop up, suck up from the lower belly and let that lift up into your heart. Straighten the legs, open your heart, release the head if it doesn't hurt. And then let the heart lead you forward and down as you massage the back of your legs. And then coming to completely release as the hands come forward and inhale right up, the hands to the knees, massaging as you half lift and exhale back down. And then front of the legs again, inhale all the way up. Hands are going to press into the upper thighs, heel of the hands, scoop up from your belly to your chest, little back bend, sort of the imprint of the back bend there, and then we rise up. Take another inhalation as you bring your hands overhead, and let's exhale. This time we're going to fold forward all the way down. Releasing, and then your half lift. Hands are going to come on the floor. You could use blocks here. Step back with that left foot. And then we begin to drop that knee down to the floor. Anjali Asana. And then use an inhalation, pressing the right foot into the floor to press you all the way up. Hands come up and overhead. And as you exhale, cactus arms, and press your hips a little forward, using that back foot to help support that bringing of the hips forward. Inhale here, exhale, pull back and bring the hands to the small of your back, just as we've done. And then try again, open the heart, draw the elbows together. You could have tucked toes at the back or a flat foot, and then begin to help guide the hips forward while you lift the heart up. Lift the heart up. Gaze towards the sky with your heart's eye. And then exhale and releasing, hands to the floor beside your right foot. Inhale and pull back, but at the same time, keep your heart gazing forward, and then pull the hip back. And we can just, you could have a little flow back and forth here if the body isn't really that warmed up. Or you could stop and just breathe, depending on how you feel this morning. A little bit more into stillness this morning for whatever reason. At the moment, anyway. And then inhale, come forward. Step back with that right leg, so it comes into cats. And toes are tucked, we exhale and drop down. Buttocks to heels. And then we inhale, we're going to find this flow. Inhale, rounding through the spine, really opening the back, heart, bringing the shoulders over the wrists, and then rolling the sit bones up and drawing the buttocks back to the heel. Gills. And so we inhale, round, drop the head and tail round through the spine, really open up the back, heart, drawing it forward over the hands, and then the back bend itself, opening up the heart, lifting up the sit bones, drawing back. 2 more in your own time, with your eyes closed, perhaps, with all the love and compassion that you can give yourself, and also this awakened awareness that permeates the fullness of your body. And then we come to half lift, rounding through, untuck the toes, and then come and sit back. Oh, let's just do a little child pose here. I think that could be quite nice, actually, just to take a moment to take a deep breath in and a nice full breath out. And then we inhale. Hello, little man. So we come all the way up. Hands are going to come. You could have blocks here if your hands really struggle to reach the floor. And then we inhale and open the heart. So lift up from the belly, lifting all the way into the heart. Arms can be, nice and straight. Your chin can be lifted. Don't throw the head so far back. We're really looking to have the cervical spine, the neck in line with the rest of the spine. And then we exhale and just come out of it. From there, we're going to inhale and swoop the left arm up over our head, so a little side bend, and exhale to come back down. And then inhale, sweeping that right arm over the head, and then back down. And let's repeat just one more time. Inhale, lifting, and if you like, you could lasso the hand back behind the head. And then inhale, swoop the right arm up and over, and you could lasso it behind you. These are choices that you can make for yourself. And then stretching back into cats. Release your feet for a moment. Tuck, you don't need to tuck toes. We're just going to step that left foot forward now. So we're coming into the lunge on the left side. Hey, Robin, glad you could join us. We've already done our warm-up though, so I hope it's okay for you. We're going to press into that front left foot and inhale, rise up, Anahata. And as we exhale, we're going to bend the elbows into cactus style and just push the foot a little forward. A little forward. And then inhale here, open the heart up, and exhale, bringing your hands to the small of your back. You can pull out of there a little bit so you get really integral through the mid. And then as you begin to draw the shoulders, roll them back, draw the shoulder blades down, squeeze your hips in towards each other, press that back foot into the floor. You can use an exhalation to guide yourself down somewhat, drawing the hips forward and down. Heart opening and lifting. Yes. And then as you exhale, coming all the way down, hands to the floor as you pull your hip back, but keep the heart looking forward. So we're keeping nice and long in the spine. The crown of the head can be in line with the rest of the spine here. We don't need to lift the head, so we don't want to overtax the mobile ability of the neck. And then slowly we come forward into Anahata. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, step in a little bit if you feel you need to. Get some of the weight into that back foot, back leg as you bend the knee, so you can just simply step forward with ease, half lifting as you arrive, exhaling to fully fold. You can take the hands into the crook of the
the thigh again, as we've been doing, or if you feel strong enough to come into lifting from the belly into the heart, arms wide, coming up with the flat back into full swan pose, and then hands overhead and exhale. Let's, smother our face or massage our face with our hands once again, bringing them back into the heart. And just taking a moment here to come back to the body, to the fullness of the body if you've got a little bit over-focused in some aspects of the movement. And come back to the heart. Breathe a couple of deep breaths into the heart space. You're feeling it expand perhaps a little bit now. And then once again, all right, we're going to bring our hands to the smaller level. And bend those knees. And bending the knees is like this order of the belly to scoop in and up, that lower belly in and up. And that's going to help open up the chest and support the lower back at the same time. And then as you roll the shoulders back, draw the shoulder blades down the body, you can press your hips forward and open your heart, keeping the tail long. See what you've got. And then as you fold, exhale, massaging down the back of your legs. Completely releasing hands and head as you arrive, hands onto the floor. We half lift now, and as we do, we're going to lift that left leg with us so it's in line with the hip. And just rotate the foot a couple of times. Try not to lift the hip as well. We're just trying to lift the leg. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, bend the right knee and very slowly guide that back foot to the floor so you don't make a sound when you hit it. Get yourself comfortable with the feet so you know you can rise with integrity. Press into the front foot and inhale, lift up. Hands can meet overhead or just be wide, whatever feels good. Use the exhalation though to come into our cactus arms and drop the hips down a little. So see once again here, if we can begin this like drawing the hands a little further back than the elbows to really open and expose our most beautiful emerald green chakra. And then inhale here, and as you exhale, we're just holding with the legs, the arms spread out and come into interlace behind us. And then inhale, stretch into that back foot as you press firmly into the front one. You can either have the hands sitting at the sacral plate at the back there, drawing the elbows in towards each other if this is super challenging for you. Or if the arms, shoulders are really open, we're going to pull them back and away from the legs, from the body. Take one more breath there with the open heart that we're really exposing now. And then as you exhale, we're simply going to turn to the full length of our mat. Take an inhale here. You might like to lift your heart and your gaze. Draw the lower navel in towards the spine as you exhale, fold. Taking the hands with you. Either they could sit at the small of the back, as I explained before, or taking the arms up and over the head. As if they could come to the floor in front of you. That's not going to happen. I know some people can do that. It doesn't seem right to me, but anyway, take a breath there, and as you're ready, bend the right knee and draw the torso over towards the right. Keep firm in that left foot and lift it in the arch of both feet, but in particular, that left foot. And then inhale, straighten the right knee, come back to the center. And as you exhale, bending the left knee and getting really firm in that right foot and lifted in the right arch. Both arches lifted, but particular attention to that right foot. Breathing here. And then inhale, straighten the left leg, half lift so the hands drop to the buttocks. And as you exhale, massage down the back of your legs all the way to your beautiful feet. And then turn your whole body so it's going to face the back of the mat, turning that left foot so it's 90 degrees, lifting the back heel of the right leg, up. We're going to bend. We're just going to do a quick lift of that right leg. So we're going to lift it up. You can walk your hands a little forward. It's in line with the hip, not hip lifted. And then we rotate the ankle a couple of times. And then once we've done that, we bend that left knee and we guide that back foot back to the floor super slowly. We don't hear it land. We've done it with such control. Get both feet ready and engaged, and inhale, rise. Lift up, arms up and over. And as we exhale, bringing them into our cactus pose. And then seeing if we can tip the hands back behind the elbows. Take one more breath. You might even try deepening your lunge if there's no lower back issues. And then exhale to interlace with the opposite interlace, opposite finger on top. And then inhale, rise. So that's either, tucking those elbows in towards each other if we're sitting on, if our hands are sitting on the sacral plate, or lifting and stretching the arms away and really reaching out into that back heel, front knee forward. One more breath there. And as we exhale, we turn to the length of our mat again. Take one more breath there as you really ground down through the feet, through the legs. You might even want to bend your knees, find the lift in your arch here. And as you exhale, you can straighten the knees a little bit and begin to tip forward with the heart. Taking the arms up and over, or they can sit on the sacral plate, and begin to just try and draw those elbows in towards each other. Knees can buckle here. They can really bend if you're having trouble with the actual forward fold. So don't listen to me too much about the straightening of the leg. That's in the ultimate aspect of the pose. Maybe it's not your expression just yet. So we take an inhale, use the exhalation to bend the left knee, stretch into that right leg, and then inhale forward, exhale over to the right side, bending that right knee. And if you like, you could try a little flowing from side to side, just pressing into one foot, bending the knee, and then swaying to the opposite side and repeating it back and forth. Or you might like to just be nice and stable and steady, and that is also super cool. And then coming back to the center, take a half lift to drop the hands down to the buttocks. And as we exhale, we massage down the back of our legs. We come forward again, so we're facing that right foot once again. We place the hands onto the floor. We press them firmly and we round through the back shoulders. We're lifting through the belly, and we step back with that right foot into downward facing dog. So take a little moment as you get comfortable in downward dog. Nice. And now this time, we're going to lift the heels, begin to round through the spine as we slowly bring the shoulders a little bit forward. So we're like in a really rounded plank. And then we bend the knees and push back. And then we inhale, straighten those legs, lift the heels, round through the spine, pushing forward a little bit as we do. Bend the knees as you come into your plank position, and then push back. Undulating back and forth, inhaling and exhaling. So just a few rounds. Let me see what's going on. Rounding that back. So the head doesn't lift as we come forward into the plank. it's dropped and released the whole way. And then as we bend the knees and push back, that's when the head comes in line with the rest of the spine. But as we're coming forward and rounding, the head is completely relaxed and dropped, so we can really get that nice rounding of the spine. I think most of you have got that. Okay, so coming forward as you round, dropping now the knees all the way to the floor as you bend them. And then walk your hands just a little bit out in front, well, quite a bit out in front of the alignment of your shoulders. Begin to suck that lower belly. Inhale, gorgeous boy. And then he's going to start licking me. Oh, see the love, unconditional love. A dog has a very open heart chakra, right? We all know that, don't we? Take one more breath. And as we exhale, we're going to drop our hearts towards the floor. Bum is high in the air. Oh, yes, little boy. Yes. Oh, dear. Breathing just a couple of more breaths there. And as you're ready, take an inhale and then use the exhalation just to drop the hips down to the hands, heels, and the hands can just come and drag along the floor until they come back behind you as we did before. So the hands are sitting just behind the hips. And here you could have blocks, or you could be on your fingertips or the flat of the palms if you're lucky. And as we inhale and open the heart here again like we did before, this time we're going to see if we can push the hips open. And exhale to release down. And now we take that left hand over and across. That right hand can be on a block or straight onto the floor or fingertips. And we open, push the hips forward once again, and exhale as we're coming back down that left hand. Inhale, left hand supports. Knees are open here, and the right arm swoops across and over. Inhale, I can't remember. Inhaling as we come up. Inhale. Now you could lasso the hand behind the head. If you like that action, or just bring it out in front as we've been doing, doesn't matter. Whichever feels good for you. Inhale, rising the right arm. Exhale, release. Now as you come over to the left-hand side, right-hand side, see if you can just hold there for a moment. Having a little play with the left wrist if you like. And then exhaling down. And then inhale over to the other side as we come to hold just for a couple of breaths, releasing the wrists as you're there if you like, you don't have to. Inhaling here and exhaling to come out and release. Tuck those thighs in together. Come for a moment into like an extended child's pose. Take one breath into your back body, into your lumbar if you need to. And then the next inhalation as we come back up into cat, tuck the toes and exhale all the way into downward facing dog. Here we can just smooch it out a little bit. Just any little movements that feel nice for you. And then we're going to inhale as you're ready. Lift that right leg into the air. Hold for a moment. You might like a little play through the ankle. And then exhale to release that foot down, the side, the left. And then inhale, lift the left leg. And see if we can just lift the leg rather than open that hip up and get a little imbalance. So nice and stable through the shoulders, through the hips. Little play through the foot if you need it. And then lift up through that hip and coil in as you exhale, lifting onto the heel, that right heel up and coiling through the center so you can hopefully bring that left foot forward. You might then bend into that back knee and put the weight there so you can push forward and bring that right foot to the left. Half lift as you arrive, full fold as you exhale. You might like to roll out through the shoulders here like you're swimming. And you could swing the chin from side to side a couple of times. And then as you're ready, you can come up, roll up like a ragdoll, place the hands in the crease of your thighs so you push yourself up with a flat back. Or lift from the feet to the belly, belly to the heart, arms out wide as you come up with a flat back, hands overhead. To complete the inhalation, and as you exhale, drawing the hands into the center, peeling the palms away as you massage through the face and down to the heart. And as you arrive in Tadasana, the hands in prayer pose, just peel the palms away and bring your fingers into this Padma Mudra. It's just the heel of the hands, thumbs, and little fingernail touching. Looking down towards the heart center, closing your eyes and taking a couple of deeper breaths. Breathing into the heart center, breathing into the body. You can close the palms into each other and release the hands all the way down, small at the back. Fingers facing up if you can do it, or just hands on the hips. The network has failed. Must have dropped out. Freedom to not get you back yet. Okay, so bringing the hands small at the back. And inhale, opening that heart up, lifting, and then exhale to fold, leaning down. I believe I have to actually sign in again. Okay. Okay, so here we are. We're going to once again do a little half lift. Oh, I've got to let myself in again. Sorry about this. I do like to see you if I can, though it's really a much nicer way to teach the class. We're going to this time. Oh, for goodness sake. Right, now we're here. Half lift. We're going to lift that left leg again so it's in line with the hip. As we inhale, half lift that back leg, left leg with us. Try not to lift the hip. I see. Oh, yeah, no, that doesn't look good. Okay, no, that's good. And then from here, we're going to see if we can soften that front knee a little bit, the grounded leg a little bit is probably going to help. Begin to draw the lower navel in towards the spine and see if you can bring your hands into prayer at the heart center. And then take an inhale. And as you exhale, just bend that front grounded leg and guide that back leg to the floor. Inhaling, rising, hands overhead. And as you exhale, hands to the heart and drop that back heel to the earth. Turning the hips so that they're facing the length of your mats. And we inhale and expand the arms out like wings. Our front knee is bent towards the little toe side, and we're going to inhale and drop the back arm to that left leg. And as you exhale, you can bring that right arm to the right thigh. Inhale. The left arm comes out in front of you and over your head. And as you exhale, lasso it behind you. Press back up and exhale all the way into our reverse warrior. Maybe that's an inhale. We're going to exhale all the way to Paschimottanasana. And then inhale, the arm comes up and over the head. And we exhale, the arm behind us as we come to stand back up. And then inhale as we swoop back into reverse warrior. As we exhale, coiling through in front of us, right arm, right thigh. Inhale, that left arm back overhead. And exhale, behind the head and into standing. And then the inhale as we swoosh to the other side behind us. Exhale. Coming forward and down to the thigh. Inhale as we open that arm up. Exhale as we press into standing. Inhale once again. Exhale, forward rounding through right forearm to thigh. Inhale. Let's just hold here for a moment. Taking a breath there. And as you exhale this time, just coming all the way down to the floor with your left hand and right, tuck those toes in. So we're in Prasarita Padadottanasana. And then here we're going to turn all the way around again. So that left toe is facing 90 degrees. Let's lift that right heel off. And we're going to bend that back knee and push it up so we can come into our warrior 3 prep with that right leg lifted. So get strong and firm through that left grounded leg and then begin to suck in from the lower belly. So you get strong through the hips and reach that right foot away from you. And then as you do that, keep that leg lifted. A slight bend in that left knee is going to help as you bring your hands into prayer at the heart center. Keep reaching back heel to crown away. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, slowly bend that front leg. And so you can bring that right leg quietly to the floor. And then inhale, rise, hands over the head in our high lunge. And then as you exhale, hands to the heart and drop that back knee down. Back heel down. I'm not the only one who lost connectivity by the looks, so okay, we're back on track, it seems. Inhale, let the arms extend out like wings. Remember the element of air. We're going to fly and flow through this like a playful little gust of wind, all right? Inhale, drop the right arm back to the leg, reverse warrior. Exhale as you rounding forward, bringing that left elbow or forearm to the thigh. Inhale, that right arm lifts up and over. And as you exhale, you might like to take it behind you as you push up into standing. And then inhale, back, we drop back. Exhale, coiling forward. Hand to elbow, in, hand to thigh. Inhale, open up. Exhale. Standing, inhale, reverse. Exhale, flowing forward to the front leg. Inhale, that right arm lifts. And exhale, stand. So find your own flow now. See, don't let the dogs put you off. The dogs are flowing around you, Robin, like a little whirlpool of winds. I mean, what is that? That's hysterical. Yeah, they're liking it. They're loving their heart chakra work. Okay, and as you exhale and come down to here, to Paschimottanasana, I think this is what I did on the other side. Let's just hold for a moment. Maybe it wasn't, doesn't matter. Breathing here from that back foot to the top fingers. One more breath, and as you exhale, coming forward, so tucking those left toes in, bringing the hands to the floor out in front of you. So we're now in Prasarita, that nice wide leg angle pose. And then we keep turning all the way back to the right foot being our leading foot once again at the top of the mat. Hands can flatten into the floor as we coil up and in, lifting the belly, pressing the floor away from us and lifting that right foot out in line with the left. Inhale and round forward in your rounded plank, and then bend the knees and push back as you come into like a little mini back bend. And then inhale, straighten the legs, round forward, bend the knees and push back. One more. Straightening the legs, lift the heels, round the back, push forward, bend the knees and push back. Inhale, lifting heels, rounding forward, and exhale, take the knees to the floor. Walk the hands away from you, out in front of you. And exhale, pussycat time now. Exhale, drop the heart to the earth. Forehead can drop to the floor, or if you've got the openness in the shoulders, then the chin can come to the floor. Take a breath or two here. Suck in that lower belly. Even breath. And then inhale to tuck the tail under, slightly around the spine so you can exhale and come to drop the buttocks to the heels and slide the arms towards your feet and then behind you. And now this time we're going to inhale and lift onto our knees. And you can tuck both your toes. And here we have this taking the right hand to the right heel and inhale. And you can do any variation that we've already done if this is, in some way too much for you. Exhale to swish through, coming forward and round into the other side. Left hand, left heel. Inhale, right arm sweeps up and over, and exhale, back, forward, and across. So inhale, you can keep the arm coming forward and across, or you can lasso it behind you and taking that hand then to the opposite. And then inhale, so slightly deeper back bend now, see? Exhale, lifting from the belly, lifting to your toes and heels. Inhale. Again, you can do any variation or just bringing the hands forward may be a good option. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale here. You might like to hold for a moment, just stretching off to that right side. If you have it in your practice and in your body, you can really begin to lift from the lower belly into the solar plexus, into the heart, and then take that left arm in line with the left hip and reach back. And then exhale, come forward and down as we change it out. So that's going into a full Ustrasana variation. You can stay off to the side, reaching to the left, or you can begin to bring that right arm in line with the right hip and reach away as you look towards that right thumb. And then exhale, coming out. Woohoo! So beautiful, in my opinion. Not sure by the look on people's faces. Yes. Come to drop your heels to your buttocks. And you can just take the hands out in front, or you might like to optimally bring the hands alongside the feet. Take at least 3 deep breaths into the back body, into the lower back if you need to. Exhale through the mouth. Beautiful. So inhale and slowly rise.
Just notice how you're feeling. If you need to adjust anything, to change anything. I'm going to change the camera work now. So bringing it just in a little closer. Hopefully that works. Yeah. So from here, we're going to, may depend on your ability, we're going to swing our feet out to the right and then bring that right leg and take it all the way across. Now, if you can't bring this foot to that left hip, and this is sort of as far as you get, then you might like to straighten out that bottom leg and then try and see if you can stack that right knee on top of the left. So that would be your alternative. If you can bring that right foot towards the left heel. So the right heel towards the left hip. And then that left heel is sitting right beside the right hip, not underneath it. If you need any support under your butt, then to just create a little bit more height to make this more accessible for you, then also you can do that. Take a nice deep breath as you allow the arms to float up to the height of your shoulders. And as you exhale, begin to round through the spine, reaching the fingers, the hands away from you, taking that right hand under the left and beginning to hug yourself so you can find your shoulder blades with your fingertips. Back is nice and rounded at this point, and then inhale, rise, lengthen through the spine, let the head come in line with the hips, squeeze the elbows together, and then lift the hands. So maybe you find that the back of the hands can reach, and maybe you can find that the palms of the hands can reach. Begin to lift the elbows so they're pretty much in line with your shoulders, and squeeze the forearms together. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, drop the elbows in towards your belly and bow down over your legs. Squeeze your knees or thighs together might help here as well. Top leg squeezing into the bottom leg. And inhale, rise, lift up. And as you continue that inhale, see if you can lift the elbows, lift the chin, suck in that lower belly, draw the legs towards each other, and then exhale, coming back to the center. Take one more breath there as you just slightly push the forearms away from your face. And then exhale to release the arms. Hands can just come to rest upon the floor or the feet or the thighs for a moment. Take a breath in. You might like an exhalation to release an ear to one side, and then inhale back to the center. Exhale the opposite ear to the other side. And inhale back to the center. And we simply lean back, uncross the legs, taking in that right leg now so it's right behind you, and seeing if you can cross over with that left one. So if you really don't get very far with this, like your knee is really highly lifted, then straighten out that right leg and see if you can take that foot away from the body so you can begin to stack those knees one on top of the other. If you've got it in your body, then left heel to the, what is that? Right heel to the left hip. Left heel to the right hip. And if you need anything underneath, of course, just make that adjustment. You're not sitting on your feet. They're free of the hips. Hands out to the sides. And use an inhalation to float the arms up to the height of your shoulders. And as you exhale, begin to round through the spine, round through the back, coil in, and then we're going to take the right arm over the left, and then see if we can hug ourselves, finding fingertips touching the shoulder blades. And we're still rounded here, and begin to press those elbows in towards each other. And then inhale, lengthen the spine, straighten yourself up, and keep pressing those elbows strongly and firmly together as you bring perhaps the back of your hands together. Yeah, that's good. If you've got it and it's easy enough for you, you can bring the palms of the hands together. Keep squeezing those. If you're in full bind, you squeeze the forearms together, pull them slightly away from you. Take an inhale, lengthen up the spine, and as you exhale, coil back down. Draw the elbows in towards the belly, the forearms to the thighs, and drop the head in a little, hold back, rounding, squeeze those thighs together. And then inhale right up through the spine, lift those elbows, press perhaps the feet into the floor. It's a little extra support here. As you lift the elbows high, squeeze the thighs together, lower navel in, forearms pressing in towards each other and a little bit away from the face. And then we exhale and come back to the center. Take one breath there, squeezing the forearms together and away from the face. And then we exhale and release. Slowly letting the arms go. Bringing the hands to the floor, to the feet, to wherever feels comfortable for you. Taking in an inhale, you might like, once again, the exhalation to drop an ear to the shoulder. You might even like to hold for one breath here. Really trying to release any tightness, which is so hard in the neck. Take an inhale. Let's roll forward with the chin in towards the chest, and then roll over to the other side. And again, just breathing into the neck muscles, taking a breath or two here. One more inhale. Exhale. To draw the chin back into the chest, just to the center, and then inhale to lift back into the middle, into neutral. Let's straighten those delicious legs. And you can just have a little unwind for a moment. Just perhaps wag out your ankles. Now you have a couple of options here. You can come straight into normal Shavasana, unsupported Shavasana. I don't normally offer up a posture in Shavasana, but today I'm going to. So there you go. We'll probably do maybe 1 minute right at the end that doesn't have the propping. So if you don't have blocks, you could use a blanket or a rolled towel or something, but you don't want it too big, right? And you might also want something for the head. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to lay one block flat or a folded blanket, and then another block on its side, or a bigger cushion or something for the head. And then I'm going to lay down on it. So I really want that blocked or blanket to come where the bra strap is. And it's laying across, it's not long ways, it's along, so it's supporting both shoulder blades. And then as you get comfortable there, you tuck in the other block or the cushion. Tuck your chin in a little bit. You place it right at the base of the skull, right at the base of the skull. So the chin is slightly tucked and the head is completely supported. And the arms can just come out to the sides. So this is like a supported fish pose, right? You can have the knees bent and dropping in towards each other into the center. You could have the knees bent and in line with the hips. You could have the legs completely straight. Make sure that there's no problem of pinching or a compression in the lower back if you're doing that. And if you are sensing that, feeling that, prefer you keep the knees bent. Taking a couple of breaths as you arrive, and make sure that you're super comfortable, that this really is working for you. Making any adjustments that you need to, if it's not super sweet. And then I'd like you to turn your attention to the breath and the heart and Anahata. See if you can imagine that you can breathe the inhalation directly into your sternum, directly into the heart center, creating space and ease throughout the chest cavity. And as you exhale, allow the exhalation to roll down the shoulders, out through the arms, down the arms and out through the hands. So we're going to inhale into the heart center. Create space and ease here, and as you exhale, push it out through the shoulders, down the arms and out the hands. Try and relax the shoulders, arms that can become completely heavy. And let those front bottom ribs really drop back into the body. Don't resist the support beneath you, but rather really drop into it. As you breathe into the heart center, you might like to also imagine a beautiful emerald green color beginning to emerge. A beautiful circular, luminous emerald green ball of energy, brightening and expanding with each inhalation. And even flowing down through the arms into the hands on the exhalation. Our arms and hands can express the love that we feel, that we have. So really feeding, encouraging that circulation from hands, from the heart to the heart of the hands. And as you begin to cultivate that prana flow, that pathway, you might even begin to feel this ball of energy, this heat in the hands themselves. That sort of magnetic force. And then from here, let's
press our head into the top block if you're using blocks, to take out the bottom block and then take out the bottom block. And if you're using blocks, you can put them on either side and use them to support your hand. So just the block to support the hand in that way. And then allow the body to drop back to the earth. And breathing into the fullness of your body as you allow that heart chakra to really begin to expand, or the energy expand into the subtle body around your physical body. So filling up the energetic egg that encapsulates your body. With love. With joy. With compassion. And with gratitude. And then as you're ready, you just slowly begin to find your own way out.
If movement doesn't want to arise, then you can simply roll onto a side. And if you're at home, particularly if you're doing this on video, you don't have to get up. You can just be. You can stay as long as you would like. But if you'd like to finish class with me, we're coming to sit. We bring our hands to the heart center, and let's just close our left hand onto our heart center and then the right hand on top of the left. You can gently close the eyes. And I think most of you now will know the Loka Samasta. We have learned this in with a bigger mantra, but we're just going to repeat this short little mantra. So bringing your hands to the heart, your awareness to the breath. And join me as you're ready. Let's repeat it 3 times. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Bringing your hands together into prayer, now bowing the head towards the heart. The heart is the most incredible organ of the body, and we're only just beginning to really learn its significance. It has 5,000 times the electromagnetic of any other part of our body. It's super, super strong. And on top of that, it has 40,000 neurons that classify it as an actual functioning brain. So we know now too that it's not just in the head that we have a brain in the body. So it is said in the spiritual traditions that it is the heart that leads us, the heart that has the deepest connection to spirit, and not so invested in ego, which the actual brain that we think of often is self-identified with the wrong aspects, more of those outer attributes that we have rather than the subtle inner unseen ones. So turn to your hearts anytime if you would like to practice some things. Last week, I think I suggested that we do some, help somebody through something to help us feel better. But this time it's really more about random acts of kindness, to be really also nice to those closest to you, to really notice how you self-talk and talk to those who are closest to you, because they tend to get the brunt of the worst of us often. So really beginning to tap into that compassion, that sense of gratitude. You might like to write a gratitude list this week, spend time in nature, and really just trying to breathe and live here. And that's the other thing. We didn't do any breathing. I don't know why I'm not doing breathing this series, but because it's the element of air, breathing consciously is also a way to tap into it. And you might like to imagine breathing directly into that chakra. I hope you have a really lovely and beautiful week, my peeps, and hopefully we see you next week. Namaste.